Both Lisa Hanna and Mark Golding have stated their mission and their vision. Their mission and their vision is to see a more united People's National Party, and they also intend to put the necessary plans in place to ensure that Jamaica will be at a better place both economically and politically in the future. These two presidential candidates for the People's National Party have committed to implementing robust reform of several legislations in an effort to ensure that ordinary Jamaicans are empowered. This will also ensure that ordinary Jamaicans are protected legally and that the necessary steps are put in place to reverse the gains lost by the progressive agenda of 1972 to 1980. Approximately 3,000 delegates of the People's National Party will cast their ballots on November 7th. They will have to decide between choosing Mark Golding or Lisa Hanna for the presidency of the People's National Party. This upcoming November 7th presidential election will be the second one in less than 12 months. In 2019, there was the Bunting Challenge in September, which saw Dr. Peter Phillips going up against Peter Bunting for the presidency of the party. Dr. Peter Phillips managed to win by 76 votes. The Bunting Challenge has been blamed for the loss that the PNP recently suffered at the polls. It has also been blamed for the massive amount of factions and divisions that exist in the political organization. However, at this time, the People's National Party is going through a transition phase, and they are trying to seek a new leader that will take them on a brand new path of unity and transformation. This current November 7th election as well will be the fourth presidential elections for the People's National Party since the year 2005, when P.J. Patterson retired as the President and Prime Minister. Both candidates, Mark Golding and Lisa Hanna, were officially nominated last week, and they previously pledged to run a clean presidential campaign. Their intentions are to ensure that the party goes on a path of unity and that there is no disrespect or demeaning of candidates or supporters. They want to ensure that the party is not divided at this time. Golding and Hanna have also shared that they both have visions and missions for the political organization that they intend to take the leadership reins of. According to Mark Golding, the People's National Party is a movement that is committed to the principle of social justice and equality of opportunity and access to opportunity in the society. He further went on to state that he has embraced that idea, and that is his reason for being a part of the People's National Party, because he also believes in these concepts. Mark further went on to state that he is committed to social justice. He also mentioned that legislation will be crafted and piloted in a similar way to when he was Justice Minister. He stated that those laws that were implemented expunged the conviction record of individuals that were caught with a spliff, and also eliminated the arrest and prosecution of such individuals. And according to Mark Golding, this had a positive impact on several young Jamaicans. It was social justice in action in the 21st century, and there are still remaining issues to be tackled. Some of them will require legislative response, while others will require other forms of action. But I am fully committed to the furtherance of social justice in the society, and I will do so in a way that the society can rally around and see the benefits thereof. Mark Golding was first elected as MP in a 2017 by-election, and he replaced Dr. Omar Davis. Prior to that, he served as a senator for 10 years and later as a cabinet minister in the position of Justice Minister between the period of 2012 to 2016. Mark Golding is currently an attorney and a financial professional. He is also the opposition spokesman and finance for the People's National Party. Mark Golding and Lisa Hanna both support the modernization of the maternity leave law. Both of these presidential candidates would like to align this maternity leave law for Jamaica with current best practices. This would mean that they would like to see an upgrade for women to include 12 weeks with full benefits and job security, as well as to include fathers under the legislation for getting paternity leave. According to Golding, he believes that we need to modernize the maternity leave law and make it consistent with what's regarded as best practice internationally. To the extent that our laws have become a little outdated, we should also adjust these laws. He further went on to state that he believes in consultation and would need to consult broadly, including consulting women's movements, the workers as well. He would also need to consult with the National Workers' Union because they are a very important affiliate of the People's National Party, and they would certainly want to hear what the party workers feel about this issue. And indeed, the business community would also be consulted in an effort to ensure that their voice is heard, so that an assessment can be done to see how this new law would affect them. According to Mark, employers traditionally provide women with benefits for 12 weeks. However, there have been instances, mainly in the private sector, where the law has been disobeyed and individuals are told not to return to work after taking maternity leave. In principle, however, Jamaica should be on the cutting edge when it comes to the rights of women. He also mentioned that many women have been elevated, and he singled out the achievements of former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, Zayla McCullough as Chief Justice, and Paula Llewellyn as Director of Public Prosecutions. Lisa Hanna is also in support of these ideas. She mentioned that she is absolutely on board with the change in this maternity leave legislation. She further went on to state that she would support in principle these kinds of legislations that empowers family, because she is a big believer in family values, the raising of children, and that it takes both parents to be present in this endeavor. She further went on to state that they are a party that believes in inclusion and consultation, and one of the things that they would have to do is to return to the comrades, the delegates, their roots, their National Executive Council, to ensure that they have robust discussions on these kinds of policy positions. People's National Party is guided by reformations that would have been put in place by Michael Manley. Michael Manley embarked on reform agendas in an effort to reverse social and economic equality that was being faced by a huge majority of the population in Jamaica. Many persons have celebrated the programs that significantly improved literacy among the adult population, programs which led to the increase in teacher involvement and free tertiary education for higher studies. The Maternity Leave Act was hailed then and is still celebrated as a landmark legislation. According to Lisa Hanna, if she were to become the next president of the People's National Party, her main focus would be to reform the education sector. She would also like to work on eliminating the deficiencies that have become so prominent as a result of the effects of the pandemic. According to Lisa, they are witnessing the greatest education crisis since persons have had access to education from the early days of Norman Manley. The People's National Party has always been the party of education and access to education. but at this moment the virtual classrooms cannot be accessed. The teachers with whom she interacted have stated that only 25 to 50% of their students are showing up for classes online. So they have to ensure that they have the kind of progressive laws that will continue to give ordinary Jamaican persons and ordinary children access to education. Brown Burke, who is Golding's campaign executive, has stated that while a lot of strides have been made in many areas of education system, there was urgent need for reformation. She also mentioned that there are inequities that exposed students and various communities during this pandemic, and the lack of engagement of thousands of students, which she is worried about, and she worries that this will have severe repercussions in the future. Hanna also mentioned that the agriculture industry would play an important part of the economic reform process. She intends to put action in place, action that is long overdue in the development of a vibrant agro-processing sector to enable Jamaicans to feed themselves. Both Lisa Hanna and Mark Golding are committed to ensuring that changes are made to maternity leave legislations in Jamaica. Lisa Hanna has her main focus set on reforming education and transforming the agricultural sector to a place where Jamaicans will be able to feed themselves through a vibrant agro-processing industry. Mark Golding, on the other hand, is focused on social justice and is also very focused on putting in place measures that will modernize laws that directly impact the empowerment of women in Jamaica. He is also focused on ensuring that he remains very open to consultations with all the necessary affiliates of the People's National Party. His intention is also to work with youths. He wants to ensure that all persons in Jamaica will be provided with the necessary opportunities and the legal framework to ensure that they fully benefit from social justice. Well, the mission and the vision of both candidates has been adequately expounded on, and it is clear that they have the right view, and we hope that they will remember this mission and this vision as they go into the November 7th elections, and that the vision and the mission will remain at the forefront of their minds when they become the president of the People's National Party, and whilst they will be acting as the opposition leader in Parliament. Of course, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do you also agree with the vision and mission of these two candidates? Do you believe that they will work towards ensuring that these reformations are carried out if they were to become the next president of the People's National Party? Do you believe that Lisa Hanna will work on ensuring that there will be changes to the education sector and the agricultural sector as well? And do you believe that Mark Golding will be working on ensuring that there will be reformations to various laws that impact social justice in Jamaica, and that he will also work towards modernizing the maternity leave law? Thanks for watching. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Goodbye.